Two foreign men kidnap a man, but the man fights back and defends himself. Turns out they were actually filming. Elsewhere, Pam is with her mother. Mom showed Donovan's clip and told Pam to become Donovan's translator. Even though Pam protested, but he was forced to do what his mother wanted. Donovan was swimming. The producer says he just wooed a client because of Donovan. His manager also resigned. Donovan didn't want to bother and asked to find a new manager. Pam is a kindergarten teacher. He lives with his gardening grandmother and retired grandfather. Grandfather owns a house that he rents out to a man named Ad who owns a convenience store. After drying himself, he looked for his necklace, which was kept by his producer. He also asked how he was, but the producer said there was no news at all. Donovan sat down looking at the writing on the ring he had made into a pendant. Pam comes to the shooting location and accidentally bumps into Donovan. He also greeted him and introduced himself as his new translator. The crew approached them and told Donovan to get changed. Pam translated, but it turned out that Donovan already knew and left at once. While making up, the photographer approached her and explained the concept of this photo shoot. Pam wanted to translate, but Donovan said he already knew. Pam was surprised herself. If Donovan could speak Thai, then why hire him? Then Pam looks for Donovan. He told her that his mother had called and they had to go. Donovan declined because there was still a photo shoot going on. Pam told me they had changed the model and it was all because of Donovan. Pam was asked to walk Donovan to the locker room. There they met with Jessica. It seems they were once close. Jessica asked Pam to leave because she wanted to talk to Donovan alone, but Donovan held her back. Mom goes to clean up problems at a shooting location that Donovan left behind. Then Pete asked Pam to accompany him in place of his mother. During the shooting process, Doe felt annoyed with what Jessica was doing. He seduced Donovan with his pose. I told them to highlight the product, but Jessica instead of sensual style. The shooting process is complete. Donovan saw that Pam was still there. He thought Pam would leave after dropping him off. Pam told him that Pete asked him to stay and now he's leaving. Donovan even wants to go with him. Pete came over and told him that Doe wanted to have dinner with him and that there was still a photo shoot tomorrow morning. Donovan refused because it was against his will. Pete told me that it would have a good effect on his career. In the future, Doe will give him another project. Donovan finally egg. Pam, who has no business, wants to go home soon because she can't drive in the dark. Pete instead asked her to stay and help him with the shoot tomorrow. Pam admits she can't. He didn't even tell his family. Pete is sure that Pam's family will also let him stay soon. It will be dark. It would be dangerous. After Pete left, Donovan asked him to join him for dinner. Pam refuses and tells him that Doe wanted to talk to him, that's why he asked her out for dinner. Arriving at her room, Pam called grandmother and Sama Ed answered. It turned out that grandma was making a cake and Ed was helping her. Pam also asked Ed for help to explain to grandma that she couldn't. After that, Ed told it to grandma and even heard it from grandpa. Grandmother lied that Pam worked out of town and stayed there. Previously, Pam had told him, but he forgot to tell grandfather. Pam buys food for her dinner. Suddenly, a hotel employee delivers food that someone ordered for him. Pam took it and brought her inside. He thought it was from Donovan because it had an English message on it. He didn't expect Donovan To be a good person, he didn't care even though he hated her in lick. After eating, Pam put lotion on her feet and hands. Suddenly, he felt someone on the balcony. Turns out he was Donovan. I don't know how he got there. Seeing that Donovan was about to fall, Pam pulled him up. Why is Donovan looking everywhere? Reflexively, Pam tugged at him so that Donovan almost fell. Donovan went to Pam's room via the balcony. Almost fell if not helped by Pam and their positions. Pam remembered that Donovan was supposed to be downstairs having dinner. But why is he even here? Donovan said that he had a random dinner, surprisingly. Donovan also knows the word perfunctory. Donovan and Pete have dinner with Dow. He was dressed very sexy and open. Donovan pulled up his chair as Pete had told him to. Dow gifted Donovan perfume. He even squirted it directly at Donovan. Jessica saw them and joined them. Dow doesn't like her and intends to drive Jessica away. Jessica didn't want to and sat next to Dow. He and Dow exchanged sarcasm over the perfume Dow gave Donovan. Donovan said goodbye to the toilet. Jessica wants to go, but Pete holds her back. In fact, Donovan was back in his room. He sent a message to Pete to find an excuse for him. Pete then told them that Donovan had come back to his room with a headache. Dow and Jessica even blame Eek. Or Pam thought it was Dow, but Donovan said it wasn't. 15 minutes ago, Jessica to Donovan's room. Donovan purposely didn't open the door and turned off all the lights. It turned out that Jessica had her room key so she could enter. Pam is surprised. Why did Jessica have her? 20 minutes ago, Jessica gets Pete drunk, then takes the keys. Not finding Donovan in his room, Jessica goes to see Pam. He's the manager. Pam said she didn't know and tried to chase Jessica away. But the guy didn't want to go and barged in. Inside, he saw Donovan coming out of the bathroom. Seeing Pam also wearing a bathrobe sent Jessica's mind wandering. He even called Pam fast food. Donovan didn't argue with what Jessica said, and Jessica left on her own. Pam protested what Donovan had said, but Donovan also refused to tell the truth and left Jessica to her own thoughts. Didn't argue with what Jessica said, and Jessica left on her own. Pam protested what Donovan had said, but Donovan also refused to tell the truth and left Jessica to her own thoughts. Pam went to bed and covered herself with pillows. Donovan asked Pam who was too worried. Donovan himself, who had lived in America for a long time, had seen many public appearances and was not so interested anymore. He also wanted to apologize for giving Pam a headache today. He finished and said he would sleep in a chair. Jessica drinking in the bathroom. He who felt irritated would only give Donovan an hour. He saw that Donovan was gone. He thought he was back in his room. And when he came to the balcony, Donovan was there. He was silent as if thinking about something. We are then given a look when Donovan was still in America with a different appearance than Ed. Donovan said he couldn't sleep where he didn't belong. Pam remembered the conversation Donovan had had with Pete earlier. Donovan wants to be famous, but why does he avoid socializing and walk away from his dinners? Donovan says he doesn't need socializing and just wants lots of people to know him. Pam smiles and tells me it's the same. And if Donovan didn't want to talk, he could smile. Pam modeled her smile and Donovan didn't think it was a real smile. Pam admits that she is surprised at Donovan, whose Thai is quite good but still needs an interpreter. Donovan finally announced that he needed a manager instead of a translator. Even though Pam agreed to work because the pay was decent, he also realized that he had been deceived by his mother. That's why he was told to follow Donovan all day and record all his schedules. Donovan asked Pam what she did. Pam told me that she was an English teacher. Pam confirmed, but not really. He is just a kindergarten teacher and teaches a little vocabulary to children. Donovan thought it was because Pam liked kids. Pam argues, not the kids, but the parents. He likes to see parents pick up their children. He likes to see children who are waiting for their parents to run to their parents and hug them. An ordinary sight, but very majestic for him. To be honest, he envied those kids. Pam, who didn't want Donovan to see her crying, turned around and pretended to yawn. He then went back to the room and came back with warm milk for Donovan so he could sleep well. The next morning, Pam woke up and saw Donovan's note under the cup from last night. Jessica woke up. There is someone beside him. He who thought that it was Donovan hugged him. Well, it turned out to be Pete. Pete was startled and woke up. He looked at his cell phone and realized that they were late for shooting a commercial. Pam watched Donovan filming below. He plans to meet his mother after filming is over and asks why her mother lied to him. After everything was finished, Pam went to her mother and asked her. Mother finished and added the money. Pam told her that she was going to buy a tablet for her grandpa's birthday. Mother, who felt that it would not be enough, intended to give him more. But Pam refused. He will add the money. Finally home. Grandma came to see him and told him that Grandpa was upset because he didn't come home last night. Grandpa came and regretted that Pam didn't come home last night. Pam tried to persuade Grandfather and promised not to do it again. He even offered to take Grandpa out for a meal on his birthday. Grandpa refused. He didn't want Pam to waste her money. Grandma even said that if Grandpa didn't want him, he would go with Pam. Grandpa got even more angry and told Grandma to go alone. Pam again persuaded Grandfather until finally he. The next day, the grandmother and family were helped by Ud to provide food to the monks after grandparents entered. Ed told Pam that he had bought the tablet Pam wanted. He also has installed applications that Grandpa might like. Pam thanks her. Ed jokingly asks Pam to pour dedication water. In the afternoon, Pam took her grandparents out to eat. Grandfather told them to order in advance when he wanted to take a walk. Pam and Grandma secretly invited Mom to join them. Suddenly, a boy asked Grandfather which ice cream is better, chocolate or vanilla. Grandfather said he did not know because he had never bought there. The kid's ice cream is ready. It turned out that there was not enough money. Grandfather intends to pay, but the child refuses and shows his father who. The child's father was a foreign man. Unexpectedly, his mother came, and it turns out that the child's mother is Grandfather's child. Mother. It was at that moment that Grandpa immediately fell down from shock. Mom and Pam, who saw him, panicked and ran. Grandpa is helped by Donovan, who doesn't know where he came from. Grandfather was finally rushed to the hospital. Pam tried to call Grandpa, but Grandpa didn't respond. Pam feels that everything is her fault. Donovan reassured him and told him not to beat himself up. He was sure that his grandfather would be fine. Not long after that, grandmother and mother came. Mother sent her boyfriend and child away because she was afraid that Grandpa would get angry again if he saw them. Grandmother asked Donovan's name and thanked him. Donovan told Pam to be with her grandmother and mother first. He will find food for them. Grandmother gave Pam's tote bag that had fallen earlier. It was the tablet he wanted to give to Grandpa for his birthday. Akad arrives after Donovan leaves. He was also worried after hearing the news, while patting Pam's shoulder. She reassured that Grandpa would definitely be fine, seeing their closeness. I thought Akad was Pam's boyfriend. Pam denied it and told her that Akad was renting Grandpa's house. Donovan came back from getting a drink, just like Mother. She also seems to have misunderstood Pam and Akad's relationship. Without seeing them, he just left. The doctor comes and tells that Grandpa has coronary arteries. They will perform the operation soon. For a while, they will move Grandpa to the treatment rooms so they can monitor his condition. Pam and Grandma then went to see Grandpa. Grandfather, who felt fine, even wanted to go home. Mother came and forbade. The doctor also said that Grandpa would be operated on, and the problem of causti will help. Grandfather refused. He would rather die than receive money from his mother. He also advised Pam and grandmother not to accept money from Mother. He also blamed his mother for making him like that. While crying, Mom said that she met Dad to make it up with him. Grandpa got even more angry and made his heart hurt and finally fainted. Grandmother and Pam were asked to leave while the sisters gave treatment to Grandfather. Akad turned out him as Akad was still outside. Mom asked how much Grandpa's surgery would cost. Akad has figured it out, approximately 500. 0 baht. Mother reassured that she would take care of it, but Grandmother forbade it. Mom asked how much Grandpa's surgery would cost. Akad has figured it out, approximately 500. 0 baht. Mother reassured that she would take care of it, but Grandmother forbade it. He was worried that it would become a problem later. Akad offer will help. He has 300,000 bahts. They could look for the rest later. Grandmother even wanted to mortgage the house for the rest. Pam forbids and says she will find a way. Pam was a breath of fresh air outside. Donovan met him. Pam was grateful that Donovan had helped her grandfather. And it turned out that Donovan had wanted to find Pam on purpose at that time. He asked her to be his manager. He knew that Pam was in need of money. Pam thought that Donovan said it out of pity for her, and Donovan immediately denied it. He asked for it because Pam did a good job. Pam is crying. Donovan grabbed her and hugged her. Continued.